Not to defend Graham, but it has nothing to do with genocidal neo-Confederates. But he's right that there are some terrorists who want to kill Christians. ISIS. What? Well, wait a second. Yes, but you know what? ISIS also wants to kill other Muslims. They've killed far more Muslims who they think are heretics, essentially, than they have Christians, for that matter.
We've also killed a lot of Yazidis. I mean, it's just a complete non sequitur. I mean, look, if randomly, and by the way, if there is an ISIS terrorist attack in America, it will not specifically target Christians. So even by that metric, it doesn't make any sense.
It's absurd. It's absurd. It's just absurd. We just have
non-Christian.
We just have virtually no examples of them attacking U.S. churches. Well, not virtually no. We have none. Let's remember that the most recent attack on U.S. churches before this one were a liberal Unitarian universalist that is non-Christian, non-denominational, and also of a Sikh temple. The problem of terrorism against churches, this was not... Look, he went into that church not because it was a church. He went into that church because it was a black church. If that had been a black VFW hall, and he could be convinced that the 10 or 12 people who were going to be in that room were black, it wouldn't have mattered whether it was a church or a stereo store or whatever.
It's also really, I think, an important point to underline. In a Southern context, particularly, the black church is like, it's very, 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 very political. So when they're, not only are they suggesting that it's not about race is disgusting, they're also erasing an incredibly important history of these churches as basically sites of political resistance to things like segregation and violence. I mean, one of the people who was murdered was also a state senator.
Right.
So when you think about destroying the black community in a place like in the South, you would think of sites of power and resistance, which the black church is in the South.
It remains to be seen just how much he knew about that church in terms of its place. And that church in particular.
Well, he specifically requested the head pastor when he arrived, and he sat next to him the entire time.